Well, hello, Sam McEwen here on my podcast, my channel for Unpromised Days. I am an executive coach, owner of Live in a Peace Coaching and several other different venues. I'm also a pastor, and so you will understand where my comments, where my um, head is when it comes to um, my comments. And it looks like I am having issues streaming to at least one other place, but I don't know for sure. I guess we'll find out. Probably is Rumble, which is okay. I'll figure out what to do with Rumble. That's a platform I'm not familiar with. So once again, welcome to Unpromised Days. Today's topic is balancing rest and productivity, celebrating Labor Day with Coach Sam McEwen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I like to start with the scripture, and my scripture today is from 1 Timothy 5:18. And it reads, the scripture says, do not muzzle the ox while it is treading out the grain, and the worker deserves his wages. Now, I'm not comparing an ox to a worker, but the general part here is that when the oxen are in the field and they're working, don't muzzle them and let them eat while they work. Okay. If you have employees, they are worthy of the wages you agreed to pay them. The worker is always worthy of his wages. He deserves his wages. So, and we can get into a better discussion on that at a later date when it comes to employees and how they respond and how they work. So today I want to talk to you about Labor Day and why we celebrate it, a little bit about the history. And this is from the Department of Labor's website, which is in the chat comments, or should be. You can go directly there and get this and read it and look up some more things about Labor Day. History from the U.S. Department of Labor observed the first Monday in September as Labor Day is an annual celebration of social and economic achievements in American workers and of American workers. The holiday is rooted in the late 19th century when labor activists pushed for a federal holiday to recognize many contributions workers have made to America's strength, prosperity, and well-being. Before it was a federal holiday, Labor Day was recognized by labor activists in individual states and municipalities over the course of years. Municipal ordinances were passed in 1885 and 1886 in New York, Oregon. It's the first to pass a law recognizing Labor Day on February 21, 1887 was in New York. And during 1887, four more states, Colorado, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and obviously New York, passed laws creating Labor Day. By the end of the decade, Connecticut, Nebraska, and Pennsylvania had followed suit. By 1894, 23 more states had adopted the holiday, and on June 28th, 1894, Congress passed an act making the first Monday in September of each year a legal holiday. And so people get a little confused, and it is always the first Monday. So if September 1st falls on a Tuesday, you got another whole week to wait for Labor Day, right? And so this year we were fortunate. The first Monday is actually today, which is the 4th, and it's a day to celebrate those who work and make a living working and putting in their efforts. So there's debate over who founded Labor Day, who came up and claimed the Labor Day title. Some say it was Peter J. McGuire, General Secretary of the Brotherhood of Carpenters and Joiners and a co-founder of the American Federation of Labor, saying that he suggested setting aside a general holiday for the laboring classes to honor those from nature who have delved and carved all the grandeur that we believe. But that's been challenged by machinist Matthew McGuire, spelled differently, by the way. And research seems to support the contention that Matthew McGuire, later secretary of the local 344 International Association of Machinists in Paterson, New Jersey, proposed a holiday in 1882. So there's some debate over who came up with the first idea, and I don't think that that is really all that pertinent to the fact that we are celebrating. The first Labor Day holiday, however, was celebrated on a Tuesday, right, in New York City, September 5, 1882. 1882. So it's been a holiday, it's been around for a long time. Um, but once again, June 28th, 1894, President Grover Cleveland signed a law making the first Monday in September of each year a national holiday. You know, if you look at it and you look at the history, you'll see that folks, different states celebrated it on different days and things like that. So it needed to be probably standardized. You'll find today that there are speeches by politicians will be made today, and there will be a lot of posturing about from politicians about what they do for labor and how they help the worker and the common man and things like that. But just remember, a lot of that is just posturing. So just pay attention to what is really truly going on around you when it comes to the political posturing. It is also a weekend of massive sales. There isn't a retail organization out there that does not have a massive sale or a giveaway or something like that. And I'll be honest with you, I don't have a sale today to offer you, but what I do have to offer you, and you can find in the show notes or in the live thread here, is a 30-minute strategy session for you and your business, you and your family, whatever your plans are, however you need to grow. Schedule that strategy session. We can talk about your disc profile. We can talk about your plans for the future when it comes to your faith, your family, your fitness, your future and your freedom. We can talk about my favorite 5 favorite F words there, and be able to get you on the right path and strategize and figure out where it is you want to go. We celebrate Labor Day just every year, and we always, with our holidays here in the US anyway, have a tendency to commercialize them. And it doesn't matter what they are. Now, the true celebration or true thing that was meant for Labor Day was basically a party. It is definitely a party day. Okay. Labor Day is often seen as a well-deserved break, a day off to enjoy the last stretch of summer. But, you know, as a coach, I believe it's crucial to remember to use this day to reflect on the balance between rest and productivity, two concepts that play a significant role in achieving our goals and maintaining a healthy mindset. So take a second. Imagine yourself on a peaceful beach, listening to the waves, feeling the sand beneath your feet, just like the ebb and flow of the tide. Our lives also have rhythms of work and rest. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle and forget the importance of taking a step back to recharge. I would encourage you to recharge this Labor Day. Let's focus on the value of rest and how it contributes to our well-being. Now, I don't mean rest in the I'm going to go take a nap concept, although you may, and that may be the thing that you need to do today. But the winding down, the no work today, the nothing on my agenda that's going to cause me stress, right? So, but as a coach, I often discuss the power of mindset. Rest is a crucial component of maintaining a positive and growth-oriented mindset. It allows us to rejuvenate, refocus, and come back to our tasks with a renewed energy. And it doesn't matter whether you're a middle or high school teacher, a pastor, someone in any other profession, doctor, lawyer, whatever it is, finding time to rest is vital. So how can you celebrate Labor Day in a way that aligns with your personal growth journey? Well, start by acknowledging the importance of self-care and giving yourself permission to take a break. Embrace activities that recharge you, whether it's spending time on the beach, engaging in your hobbies like fishing, or simply enjoying quality time with your loved ones. So what is it that brings that refreshment to you? What is it that brings that refreshment to your body, soul, and spirit? Do what you need to do today. Take that time. Now, I know there are a host of other people out there who are working today. At some point in time, you have to step back and take that rest. Another dimension to Labor Day is acknowledging the efforts of workers. But just as I guide others as a coach, remember to appreciate those who contribute to society through their work. Take this opportunity to reflect on the value of ethical influence, leadership, and the positive impact we can have on others' lives. Doesn't matter if you're a coach, a pastor, a teacher, whenever you're in a position of any type of leadership or you're out in front of your employees, you have got to reflect on these things, ethical influence, leadership, and the positive impact we can have in order to recharge, regenerate, and be able to effectively guide and lead your teams. For those of you who are pastors like me, Labor Day also offers a chance to discuss the balance of work and rest from a spiritual perspective. Use this time to guide your congregation towards understanding the importance of rest as a biblical principle while also appreciating the value of hard work. There is a balance there, a harmony there that comes with the hard work and the rest. It's been said that on occasion we have 8 hours to sleep, we have 8 hours for work, and we have 8 hours for R&R, okay, family. So in a 24-hour day, that is very important. It is always very important to get that R&R in. Now, if you're like me, I usually go to bed around 10 o'clock. I'm up by 5 o'clock. That's not 8 hours, but I have changed the way I start my day, and I do get that 8 hours of rest and relaxation. I'd like to move on now to a couple of headlines, a couple of things that are tweaking people's minds today. It's kind of funny, some of the things that are going on. And you can see the unraveling. Most of you know what my political stance is, what my idea is of what's right and wrong. But it's funny that at this point in time, we have our infamous congresswoman up in New York City that I absolutely do not agree with, but she has been duly elected by the people in her district. I don't know why, but they have elected her. But AOC and Biden are going round and round about immigration and what is important and what's not. And AOC is finally coming to the realization that Biden is not doing a real good job on immigration. I'm surprised that the Democratic Party is allowing her to speak out like that. Some of the other things that are going on, and a lot of us are concerned, we're interested, we want to know what's going on with the whole investigation around our president and how it affects the upcoming election, and what Joe Biden and Hunter Biden may have or may not have done when it comes to illegal business activities. But the White House is now claiming executive privilege as the investigation continues into Joe Biden's involvement in Hunter's illegal business activities. The White House is scrambling to prevent the release of about 200 documents involving President Biden from the National Archives and NARA. The White House is claiming executive privilege. Now, I'm not sure how that works. If he's entitled to claim that, then more power to him. Maybe it's something that has to wait until he gets out of office. I'm okay with that, right? Let's go by the law. Let's do what the law. But according to the documents, according to the release, the documents are related to Hunter Biden's business interactions with the office of the vice president during the Obama administration, according to American First Legal. And American First Legal did file a lawsuit to obtain the records from NARA. And it includes communications from January 2011 to December 2013. And it does mention Hunter Biden's company's name. NARA is refusing to release the records because of confidential advice between then President Joe Biden and the White House advisors. So there's going to be a back and forth like this. The one thing that does kind of disturb a little bit is that it appears to have been proven that our president used a number of fake email aliases while serving as vice president. Now, I could see that in some instances, but there should be a complete record of that. And as American citizens, since he's no longer vice president, and if they don't affect national security today, we should know exactly what was going on, who, what, where, and when. That should just be transparency. And so I fully expect that will last for quite some time, and it has to do with a far-reaching elements, everything from Burisma to BHR Partners to the Bank of China and other things like that. There appears to be some relationships there, and I do believe that that this does need to be investigated, that it does need to be talked about and put out there. And these comments and things that I've just talked about when it comes to our president and his son Hunter, these were reported on 9/3/23 by Joshua Riddle from the American Insider. So next up on the news, we just survived what is Idalia, and here comes Katia. Katia is forming in the Atlantic. We are right in the dead heat of the Atlantic hurricane season, which for those of us in Florida means pour a drink, sit back and relax and see what happens. I don't know that anybody who's been in Florida for any length of time panics until we know where the hurricane's going to hit. There was a funny thing on TikTok the other day I saw, and a lady is talking about hurricane coming and stuff like that. And it's just funny about how people who've been around Florida a long time respond to hurricane warnings. But pay attention. I strongly recommend that you use Mike's weather page for the most accurate and up-to-date information on the weather patterns and what's going on. Mike is a local man out of Oldsmar, and he has been very accurate in what's going on. He's very honest and very, it's just, if you're going to look at weather, you can go to the national things and stuff like that if you want to. Maybe it's easier, but I follow Mike's weather page on social media, and I subscribe to him on social media and to his newsletter. Next up in the headlines is the big debate over what's going to happen in the 2024 election. So, and I'll tell you right now that as Republicans and Democrat leaders align with each other and things like that, the talking points right now for almost all of the Republican candidates is a vote for Biden is a vote for Harris. Nobody thinks that Joe Biden is going to be able to continue on as president for another 6 years. It's possible. I don't see it. And let me say this: President Joe Biden is a newly elected president. Now, whether you believe that the election was rigged or false or phony in some way, you are entitled to that opinion, and I am entitled to my opinion on that. And I believe there were some discrepancies when it comes to various states, and I believe that that needs to get looked into. And I also believe that by filing all these indictments and lawsuits against former President Donald Trump, the courts have opened up themselves to some subpoenas and some things that President Trump and his legal team can do. And this is probably not something that they counted on. My guess, and this is total speculation on my part right here, is that they've got all these things scheduled and they'll drag it out to get it into the primary season and stuff like that. And they'll end up dropping the cases because they don't want to have other people from their party, from the Democrat Party and stuff, come in and testify when former President Trump subpoenas them. So that's what I see happening. This is just all smoke and mirrors, trying to keep President Trump from being the Republican nominee. And doesn't matter what you think about President Trump, what you think about President Biden. What you have to do when it comes to voting and things like, you have to look at the value system. What is important to you? What values are important to you? What are the issues? And that you have to do your research now. We have all of these Republican candidates out there. We have several Democrat candidates out there. Look at their value system. Does their value system on the issues get that correct? Issues align with you and your views. Are they closely aligned? Are they moderately aligned? Or are they totally away from your view? If they are totally away from your view, then you probably need to vote for the other guy. You cannot look at the guy and say, I don't like him. He's a misogynist pig. He's a liar. He's been in office for 50 plus years and he's too old and he's too young and he's that. Those are not things that you should be taking into consideration. That's voting on the character. And everybody has character flaws. Everybody has character flaws. The Bible tells us make sure that you remove the log from your own eye before you take the small toothpick out of another person's eye. So that's where you have to really, truly, and honestly pay attention to what's going on and what a person who's running for office believes. And that is all the way from your county commissioners, your school board, any elected office, clean up into the president of the United States. You know, I always like to, this is Labor Day, and I really want to embrace some of my hardworking co-conspirators, or whatever you want to call them out there, friends, clients, former clients. But I want to recognize 4 businesses today that have stood by me personally, professionally, and are just as important to me as I hope I am to them. But the first one is Express Oil and Tire Engineers, Jason Nastasi. He has 2 locations, one in Oldsmar and one in Tampa. The one in Tampa is at corner of Dale Maybury and Waters. And the one in Oldsmar is on Tampa Road. You can't miss it. It's a beautiful building for a oil change and tire place. But let me tell you something about Jason and his business. Jason makes every effort to take care of his employees. He knows when he makes mistakes and he tries to correct them. If one of his employees makes a mistake in working on your vehicle or fixing your vehicle, whatever, I know for a fact that Jason will go out of his way to make it right. I've just seen him do it time and time and time again. But he also knows when he's being scammed. But even at that point in time, he usually errs on the side of the customer. I love his personal values and standards and what he believes in and does and tries to express every day in the way he lives, his focus on his family, his focus on his faith. Even though we may be a little bit different in our faith beliefs, we are fairly well aligned. But he stands for his faith and he stands for his family and he takes care of his employees. So if you need an oil change, if you need new, let me put it to you this way on the tires. Search all over the place. Make sure you're not just going online to buy them online, have them delivered, and have somebody else install them. Search for an installed price. Doesn't matter where you go. Doesn't matter what big box store you go to. Doesn't matter where you go. Search the prices. Take the quote to Jason, and I can guarantee you he will come closer. He will beat it. He's just that good. He's just that good. And he takes care of you. He will take care of you after the sale, and he wants you to be a lifelong customer. So that's Jason Nastasi at Express Oil and Tire Engineers. The next business I want to recognize in my small sphere of influence is Title Insights. If you are looking at buying a house or selling a house, I would strongly recommend that you reach out to Deidre Gurney and the girls at Title Insights in West Chase, Florida, and talk to them before you do anything else. If you have a realtor you're working with, tell your realtor you want to use Title Insights. You can do that, by the way. You can do that. And there's a lot of realtors who say, oh, well, I work with this company, I work with that company. One thing that Deidre will get to you is accuracy accuracy, accuracy, the work will be right and correct. And she'll do a good job for you. The girls down there are so friendly, and they will definitely be on your side. The next company I want to recognize for their community involvement, for what they do for our first responders, our police officers, our sheriff's deputies, and that is Florida Firearms Academy, CEO Thomas King. He's also a member of the board of directors at the Upper Tampa Bay Regional Chamber of Commerce, and he's just an exciting person to be around. He's very upfront. There's no hidden agenda for Thomas. He is a true American. And he will defend your rights as strongly as he believes he has the right to all, everything that he's just going to defend your rights. I mean, he just is. And he's an awesome man. He does so much for the community, especially our first responders. And Thomas King, I salute you for that. You just do an awesome job there, and I thank you. One that I want to especially highlight, and this is an independent businesswoman, and she's a very special lady. Her name is Penny Jackson, and she's a Mary Kay representative. And the way I understand it, and I could get this part of it wrong, but for the most part, she's been earning her pink Cadillac for a large number of years. But here's the thing with Penny. Like Thomas, she takes care of the people in her community. She tries to do a nonprofit fundraiser at least every quarter, I think is what she said. I may have that all wrong. But here's the thing about her. She's not high pressure. She's not, you got to buy. She is such a sweet soul. And ladies, if you are looking to get that facial, to get that consultation with a true professional. She's been doing Mary Kay, I believe she said, for 34 years. She's just a sweet lady, and she supports the nonprofits. And I greatly appreciate Penny Jackson. So I would encourage you to take these 4 businesses into consideration in the Oldsmar Westchase Upper Tampa Bay Regional Chamber of Commerce footprint and use them for your needs. So that would be Jason Nastasi at Express Oil and Tire Engineers, Deidre Gurney at Title Insights, Thomas King at Florida Firearms Academy, and Penny Jackson with Mary Kay. And if you need information on any of those folks, I will try to put them in the comments, and just reach out to me, and I will get you the information there. So, normally I don't wear black a lot, but I want you guys to know that I am celebrating football season starting, and my Philadelphia Eagles were the NFC Conference champions last year and are looking to repeat and to go on and win the Super Bowl this year. Just had to get that plug in. Football starts this weekend. My Wyoming Cowboys. That's the only Cowboys team I will even say with a nice word and a nice attitude. That's the Wyoming Cowboys. I spent a large portion of my life in Wyoming. They upset Texas Tech in double overtime. I would strongly recommend, if you're a college football fan, go back and watch the highlight reel. It was amazing to me. I really, truly enjoyed watching the highlights from that game. And it's another reason why big schools don't want to play Wyoming. They don't want to go to Laramie, 7,200 feet above sea level. Doesn't matter where you're at. When you get that high in altitude, it's tough. It's tough. So congratulations to Wyoming Cowboys. And as we wrap up this special Labor Day episode, remember, celebrating this holiday is just not about enjoying a day off. It's about embracing the harmony between rest and productivity, understanding that both are essential for personal growth and success. So whether you're coaching, leading, teaching, business owner, whatever you're doing today, maybe you're just enjoying time off with your family, make the most of today. Make the most of this Labor Day by nurturing your mind, your body, and your soul. I strongly encourage you to reach out to that person next to you and say, we need the rest. We need the relaxation. Thank you for tuning in to Unpromised Days. I hope this episode has given you valuable insights into celebrating Labor Day in a meaningful way. Remember, as you lead others, you deserve to lead yourself towards a harmonious and fulfilling life. This has been Sam McEwen with Unpromised Days. Remember to like, share, subscribe, click on all the buttons down below, all the bells and whistles. I don't remember what they all are, but remember, how we do anything is how we do everything. This has been Sam McEwen, Unpromised Days. Live intentionally. Be very, very blessed, my friends.